This one's gonna hurt me a little bit. But also kind of not. Do you need a velvetizer? What is a velvetizer? A velvetizer is a machine that's, I think, is maybe trademarked by Hotel Chocolat, which is a British chocolate company, which doesn't make sense. They call themselves British cocoa growers. They don't grow it here. We can't grow chocolate in this climate. Besides the point. Yet you see all the flags up on the roundabouts. They're like, oh no, immigrants can't come in. How do you think that flag is represented abroad? It's about you going there, taking people's stuff. The irony of it just really pees me off. Velvetizer. Basically what it is a little machine that is non-stick on the inside, and it heats and mixes your drink. So it makes a hot chocolate. They've got a new version of the velvetizer which can do hot and cold drinks, and that severely disturbs me. I do not stand with this because a cold anything takes away flavour. So a cold chocolate, I just, no. We will exclusively be discussing the hot velvetizer machine today because I am not. No. A couple of years ago, I was gifted a velvetizer and I was like, whee, finally a little bit of space in the kitchen, because there's a coffee machine, kettle for tea and other drinks, but nothing that made me feel like I am an adult who lives here, who has a machine for convenience. The obvious answer to that was a hot chocolate machine, but I got the copper one because it's pretty and it was my birthday. I did get a bit of money off because I signed up, bore my soul, gave them my personal details, so I am part of that club. But I used that machine religiously for probably about a year. Then it went into storage for 2 years and came out, and it's not looking pretty. We're going to focus on this in 2 stages. 1, what it was like during the year that I was actually using it, and 2, how it's fared since. I mean, spoiler alert, you know it's not fared amazingly well since. Does it do what it says in the box? Yeah, it does. It whizzes your milk up and you can put chocolate in it and it heats it up and it's a good temperature and it fits the pod. It does the things that it says it will do. Do you have to use Hotel Chocolat's powder? It says you do, but no. What I would recommend doing is if you dump some chocolate chips in it, or, I mean, chopped up chocolate in some way. It doesn't have to be perfect to incorporate, but it does build up the gunk more if it's not smaller. You're supposed to wash it after every use with like a little drop of washing up liquid and whiz it through. But generally you just want to sit down and have your drink. So what happens if you remember to rinse it out and put the stuff in is it's just got like washing up liquid sitting around in it for ages, and then that starts to solidify depending on whether you're in a hard or soft water area as well, which is not ideal. The way that it works is it's got like a little plastic inner bit with a whisk, then it's got magnets on the underside of the non-stick coating, so the magnets whiz around, they connect to the other magnety bit on the whisk, and it goes zzz. Made myself dizzy there. Relatively straightforward. We've already ascertained it does what it says on the box. Quite a lot of immediate cleanup compared to you just enjoying the convenience of a hot chocolate. Quite a lot of washing up, and the whisk does get pretty grubby and it's quite hard to clean. You can get a brush in there, but once it's calcified it's just not pleasant. To put vinegar in it. Even though it's non-stick, you do have to be pretty vigilant with the cleaning, which takes away some of the joy of that automation. Talking about a machine that's about 100 quid, that's taking up counter space, does look nice, but you have to do quite a lot of upkeep. Whether that's worth it is up to you in itself. It does take some of the joy out of it, both from the upkeep and as you see it getting gradually more grubby, you're like, oh, do I really want to be drinking something that's come from that? All's kind of ticking along. And then again, we put it into storage for a couple of years. I don't think it was just the storage that did it, but the non-stick coating started to come off, and that really annoyed me because yes, I got a fair amount of use out of it, but it wasn't lasting as long as the coffee machine, and considering that it's got one function, just felt a little bit dramatic. It didn't feel amazing quality for what it was, spending 100 quid on basically a milk frother. And yeah, I got my 10% discount or whatever, but RRP it's about 100 quid. I have not bought a new velvetizer. I did think about it, but we have a workaround that is just as good and is so much less expensive and it has less washing up. I present to you the almighty milk frother. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. That secret is a very, very time intensive, thought out, I don't know, way that I make my hot chocolate. I think I've already spilt the beans, but anyway, it's a secret, so keep it between us, all right? And this may not be for everyone, but I cannot understand the difference between what I do and what the velvetizer does, apart from I have less washing up. Numero uno, I get a mug. I actually use the Hotel Chocolat ones because they're quite nice. If you're not careful, they do burn your fingers. You have to kind of hold it around the rim, or Francis grabs the top and the bottom and I'm like, how do you do that? He's got asbestos fingers, you know? Dump a tablespoon of Calabo 70% dark chocolate callets into your mug. Yes, they've gone up recently. Apparently global chocolate prices have as a general because they've had a really bad harvest for a couple of years. Then you put your milk about 3/4 of the way up the mug. Shove that in your microwave for about minute and a half. Obviously depends on your microwave. If it's higher wattage, I think we've got about 1,000 watts, but it doesn't say on the microwave and we can't check it because it doesn't have a serial number or anything. And we didn't buy it. It came with the house. You've heated up your milk. Your microwave's gone ding. Again, keep an eye on it before you learn the lay of the land in terms of how much milk you put in versus the chocolate versus your microwave. Just keep an eye on it. Minimize the cleanup. Stop it as soon as it starts to bubble a little bit. You don't want to be cleaning that up. Grab a spoon. This is something that I do that Frances doesn't, and I think it makes it so much better because it incorporates more of it. You just will it around to get most of the chunks of chocolate melted into the milk. If you leave it like this, you will have a milky drink that doesn't really taste of chocolate. So you get your magic wand out, the milk frother, manual version, can get it for about a £5 at IKEA. Haven't tried the IKEA ones yet because my current one is still going strong, and just whiz it. You whiz it until it's incorporated, and then you whiz it a little bit more because you want it to be properly chocolatey. This is why we leave a little bit of space so it doesn't go all the way up. Depending on how you like your drink, you can either add milk in, have it straight away. The way that you clean the whizzer, by the way, is just put it under the tap and whiz it. So I rinse it, then put the whizzer on so it like properly gets a rinse, and then every so often you clean it with one of those pipe brushes and a bit of washing up liquid. That's all the washing up you need to do because you're going to wash up the mug anyway. It's just a rinse. You don't have to faff around with putting the stuff in the velvetiser and then pouring it out and remembering to do it and getting rid of the build-up. Anyway, back to the hot chocolate. You can either put some more milk in to top it up to the top, probably drinkable at that temperature, but again depends on you and your microwave. Or what I do is I put the milk in and then put it back in the microwave for maybe 30 seconds, another minute until it's quite hot, and I just like waddle away with my hot chocolate in hand. But it's alright because it's 70% chocolate, so it's basically healthy. By the way, that level of milk does help people who have B12 anemia because you want to keep that B12 topped up. If you're feeling really fancy, sprinkle some freeze-dried strawberry on top of that. That is amazing. I can't explain to you how good that tastes. Sounds a bit weird, and I'm not massively into like fruity chocolate either, but it's really good. Freeze-dried raspberry tastes a bit different and it can get a bit clumpy, weirdly. But anyway, this is not what we're talking about today. We're talking about whether you need a velvetiser. I'm not buying another velvetiser because that process works amazingly for me. I just shove it in the microwave a little bit. Some people put it on the stove. Can't be bothered. The microwave does just as good a job as the velvetiser. They're both heating up the milk. They're both melting the chocolate. They're both, well, I guess the velvetiser is incorporating it, but you just whiz with your whizzer and incorporates it. Your alternative, if you want the velvetiser experience but do not want to pay £100 Hotel Chocolat prices, Lidl or Aldi, I can't remember who, were selling a milk frother for about £20, I think, a few years ago, around the same time the velvetiser came out. All the velvetiser really is, to my understanding, is a milk frother that you just put a bit of chocolate in. So you could go down that route if you want the machine, but I would still say having non-stick come off, because if the Hotel Chocolat one's going to come off after a year of pretty heavy usage, then I reckon you're going to have the same thing with any other model. We know non-stick coating isn't good for us, so why bother? Why not just use my easy method? And yeah, the milk frother's going to break eventually. When the battery gets low, it starts doing that a little bit. Then you know the battery's low because it's like, I have a lack of energy and that's why my head's doing this. But it's such a small investment in comparison, and if they last the same amount of time. I got 2 IKEA ones that I think were £3, but I'm not sure, without batteries, and I can't remember how much the other one was. Maximum £20. But if that lasts a year and the other one lasts a year and it's more convenient, yeah, it's got a little bit more manual whizzing, but very little. And that to me is more than offset by the lack of non-stick being in my drink and the fact that I don't really have very much cleanup. It just is so worth it for me. I wouldn't recommend getting one. It's fun, it's a novelty, it's nice having a machine in the kitchen that you go, that's mine. And it looks nice, they've done a really good design on it. I just don't think it stands up to the scrutiny that I put it through. Sorry. But also not sorry, because I've saved you a bit of counter space. Or just go ahead and get it. Enjoy yourself. It'll last longer without heavy usage. It's so tempting when it's there. I will say, because it's quite easy to make hot chocolate, I just do it. And I don't always do that. Make of that what you will. It's for the B12, darlings. It's for the B12. Let me know what you're planning on doing, if you even like hot chocolate, or if I have blown your mind with this workaround. This is where you tell me you don't have a microwave and I'm like, how do you function? That's something that would be quite hard for us to live without, I think. We've got an air fryer that we rely on, the cooker, the microwave, the whizzer, blendery thing as well, for acai bowls. I think you can tell we didn't have kids immediately. Have a lovely week. See you next time. Bye.